Welcome to the showcase, where I interview entertainers, because I believe people like to know about entertainers and how they achieved their success. Please watch to the end, don't miss a minute, leave a comment, click the thumbs up and subscribe for more great content. I'm going to introduce a guy that takes no introducing. When I first started my career, I don't know how many years ago, Dave might remember me. I'd like to introduce Dave Naylor. Hello, Dave.
Hello, Sean.
Oh, you remember my name. A long time ago, Dave.
Martin Shaw,
wow.
not Sean Martin.
Okay, so Dave, when I was very, very young, you was, I don't know, 15, 16, was you still at school? I can't remember.
Yeah, thereabouts, yeah.
Yeah, or you just finished. And I had the opportunity of performing in Bar and Pub, where I met your mum and your dad. Bar and Pub is a great, fantastic place that will always have memories in my heart, because your mum, Ivy, was the compere and she booked all the acts there. And sometimes acts were 6 and 7 nights a week. She was absolutely awesome. She had a heart of gold, and you could do nothing wrong in your mum's eyes. And your dad was up most of the time there playing the spoons, and nobody will ever forget that. Now, I met you through her, because I was in a duo called Dim and Bright. Yes, I was the bright one, Dave, if you remember. And we was talking to you, and you said, well, I'm a drummer. And I said, oh, that'd be nice to join a band. You were skinny, small, spotty, shy. Are you still like that now, Dave?
Yeah, not much has changed, really. I've grown a beard just to cover everything.
Do you remember that time?
Yeah, there's not a lot I do remember at that time. But there's a couple of bits and bobs where I remember having a good laugh and getting Dickie both tied up. And first time I felt a bit anxious because I was a bit shy.
I think you was a bit out your depth.
Yeah, a little bit.
Because we took you from playing at your home, and I think you did your first live show with us as Dim and Bright. And I remember rightly, you was there and you was punctual, you was on time. It was fantastic having a real drummer. It really was. It kind of made the act a bit more, filled the stage out a bit more. And
don't you spend you some money?
How much you got?
I've got about 30 bob.
34p. That's not enough, Dave. But look, you know,
I'll save up more.
Hey, we didn't have a T-shirt for you, so you had to wear a Dickie bar. Remember that? We had Dim and Bright T-shirts, and we had an old blue van. Do you remember the old blue van?
Yeah. We had a few incidents in that, didn't we? Well,
one incident, Dave, just tell I don't want to talk much, I want you to talk, but just to tell the audience, Dave's had a few illnesses, and we'll talk about them more in the show. That's why his memory's a bit, on and off, should I say, So we need to press the right buttons, Dave. We was going over the
press that one.
I have to press that one. We was going over the Hughes Bridge and we lost the wheel. Do you remember?
Yeah, I was a bit scared about that.
Yeah,
I was a bit worried.
Me too.
And we got out off the. We managed to pull it over, didn't you?
You did. Yeah.
And we walked down this road, which was off. It was like going near a bridge, and we went under, and then up the slip road, walked up to the slip road, and then went to get help for that from there.
Yeah, and you always said the joke. You took a fine time to leave me loose wheel. Do you remember?
Yeah. Yes.
Never forget them days. So Dave, just tell what do you remember about Dim and Bright? What can you remember?
I remember you and yourself and I. And
did you remember him?
Was it who was on the bass?
Oh, that's when we had a bass. Yeah, Melvin.
And good old Ron.
Yeah.
Good old rock.
Melvin was an awesome guy, wasn't he? Really, I wish I could get in touch with him, Dave, because I just
me too.
I've never seen him on Facebook or anything,
No, it was good. They were good times. Good times. We had some good nights as well. Real good nights.
And I think it got you out your shell. You started to interact more and things like that with people, which was great. I always remember coming to your house and picking you up because you lived on Ings Road, didn't you?
Yes,
Yeah.
Just off Ings Road down back to Close.
Yeah. So there was your mum and your dad and of course the beautiful sister. Do you still see your sister?
No, not as much.
No.
I don't see most of the family as much as you'd expect, really.
Yeah, it's understandable. I went to, last year when I came to the UK, Dave, I went to Slater Menswear to buy something and there was Marie Naylor. Couldn't believe it.
Oh, yeah.
After all them years.
She does well there. She's been there quite a few years now.
She must be the manager then.
So I don't think she'd take the job if they offered it.
Good. So what did you do after dim and break? Can you remember, Dave?
I got put in prison for about 2 weeks.
It wasn't that bad, was it?
A week and a half, sorry, yeah, a week and a half. Dim and bright, I think not so long after that, I joined Jim Crossland and Carl Coxon because they came round. They joined Revival and did that.
Oh, yeah, Revival, yeah.
Good times with that. Then I moved down south in 1986.
Wow.
While I was still up here, I joined Mike Mooney. Mike Mooney, he set me up with some solo gear as well when I started doing some singing. He helped me out. We set up a band called Delius. Set up a band called Delius with Jim Shields on guitar, fantastic guitarist. I can't remember much about the other members. Brian Fenn on keyboard.
Wow.
We did some sort of hit stuff of the time. Let's Dance and David Bowie and
wow.
Too Shy, Kajagoogoo. So it was all around that era, 85, 86. And then I moved down south for 17 years.
Wow, that's a long time.
Thin Lizzy. Joined the Thin Lizzy tribute band. Before that, I joined an Originals playing band where we went into London to do some recording, but that was pipe, like a bit of a pipe dream really, because the people were promising us stuff that they couldn't give us, but a lot of musicians have experienced that, which it's not nice, but there's people out there like that in all walks of life. The Thin Lizzy thing was phenomenal. Went all over the country, in Dublin a couple of times. Met Phil Lynott's mum, Philomena. Wow. Went to Phil's bedroom. Old bedroom. She keeps it as a shrine. And we saw a couple of gigs in London as well, along with our friends in Limehouse Lizzie as well.
Is that what they called it, Limehouse Lizzie?
No, they were our friends. They're still going now. They're still 20 odd years, I think. I'm not sure. It might be a little bit more.
Wow, that's awesome.
Maybe 30 years they've been going, I think, the Limehouse Lizzie. We were called Live and Dangerous because we played the album from start to finish and with some extra Thin Lizzy songs.
Yeah.
Because there were too many to not do. So we just did that. It's a fantastic time.
You can't beat that song. Boys are back in town. Great.
Yeah, you can't beat Whiskey in a Jar.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know much about Thin Lizzy before I joined. And I looked it up and looked up some information about Phil Lynott. Yeah. And I thought, wow, he was phenomenal. A songwriter, fantastic.
Was the drumming complicated, technical?
It scared me.
Did it really?
Because I'm self-taught, and I'm not. There's nothing really flash about my drumming. It's just I'm a single stroke roll drummer. I call myself. There's nothing special, but people seem to think I'm one of the best, and I think nah, I'm not one of the best. I'm all right at what I do, but I'm not one of the best. I've seen other people like Ken Opie, which I've not met for a while. I've spoken to him on Facebook.
Well, I'm in a band with Ken, and he's just so technical, but he's a diva.
Yeah, no, he's spoke to him on Facebook. He's a good lad. A number of other brothers I look up to as well, like my brother. Les.
Oh yeah, Les. Yeah, Les still down south, is he?
Yeah, he's still down south.
That's awesome.
He's happy with his family and getting on all right.
And you're happy with your family back up in Hull?
Yeah.
You're with the lovely Tullula, yeah?
Yeah, certainly.
So tell us, Dave, how did you meet Tullula and get the act together that you got Mr. and Mrs.?
I think it was. I think it was New Year's Day evening.
Yeah.
I was at Heslex Club, and Tori came in with her mum and dad and sat along the left hand wall on the bench seat. And when she first came in, I clocked her straight away, and I thought, oh, she's quite nice, because I was a single dad with 2 kids then. And I thought, nah, she's too good for me. And then as I was Monty then, I was doing the comedy vocal thing, and I just leap off stage, still singing, going around the audience, doing the like my heroes like Tommy Cooper and Freddie Starr, just random offbeat things, and I managed to work my way around. And she was sat in front of me, and I thought, yeah, it's now or never. So then I just jumped up either side, my feet either side of her thighs, and my hips were in a level with her head. So and she just like laughed a bit, and then her hand went up somewhere because I wore shorts then, and grabbed hold of something, and I jumped straight off. And then pelted away to the stage, the bar. Went round the back of the bar, still singing. Got a pint of glass, and I'm pulling pints for people. I'm still singing, and I'm like pulling pints. I'm going back, and I'll run back to the stage. That's how we met.
Dave, why did you go behind the bar? Did you have to hide something?
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, no comment. No comment.
Oh dear me, it's funny. And then you asked her out, did you, at the end of the show?
No, it was a couple of weeks after that.
Huh?
She kept coming in, and because I was comparing, and our Les, my brother, was on the drums, and Terry Bell, another good friend of mine, he was on the keyboards, and we used to do some cracking songs, 3-part harmonies. We used to have a laugh as well, and they were good times, because that got me out and singing by myself. The artists coming out to introduce them on and introduce them off, and they'd be saying, "Oh, where you gigging next?" I said, "I'm not. I'm just doing this and doing some drumming." "Oh, get yourself out! You got a cracking voice." So it got me thinking. So that's where sort of Monty came in. So I said, I don't want to just stand there and sing.
Yeah.
I want to mess about a little bit.
Yeah.
But it was like my funniness. It was just daft.
Yeah, I know.
People either liked it or didn't, or they took 10 or 15 minutes to get used to what I was doing, and they go, "Oh yeah," and then that penny had dropped.
But that's your humour, Dave. That's how you are. I was lucky enough to come back last year to England, and I come to the Willows. You was on. I asked you where you was, and said I'm on at the Willows, and I came in and you was on, and I sat on my own, and it was unusual. I thought, well, it was packed, sat on my own, and you was on, and I was chuckling. People must have looked at me and thought, was that idiot? I was chuckling to myself, and deep down I was really proud. I was happy to myself, thinking, that's my mate. When we first started with Dim and Bright, look at him now. He's took the stage by himself. And there was a few jokes I didn't get, and then I laughed later on.
Yeah, that's what it was like. Yeah, that's what it was
and
like.
I thought, well, that's clever, you know.
Willows, the people that go into Willows, they've done so much for me. Like Ray Wardell,
Yes,
Woody.
yeah,
They've done so much for me. We don't go in so much as much as we used to,
yeah.
but when we do, they just welcome us every time. Oh, look who this is! Oh, look.
Oh, you got?
Are we all right? Do you want me to pop in?
Yeah, look, come and sit next to me.
Oh, is it?
Okay.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm all right. How are you?
Mr. and Mrs. together. Do you still do?
This is our duo.
Oh, yeah.
That's our duo.
Do you still do a bit, Tori, together or not?
Yeah, I'm still out and about, gigging and things,
Good.
doing my Tullula show.
So you should. You're brilliant.
Oh, thank you.
And
I like to bring a bit of laughter.
yeah,
and
you've got to do it. Are you working for an agent, Tori, or you're doing it yourself?
I used to work for Steve Martin for the East Coast sort of end, and they're based in Louth. But since David was poorly, I haven't been really doing a lot from them anymore because I couldn't really be, what's the word? I don't want to say committed because that's wrong. It was more, I wasn't available all the time and things. Passed off on them for a little while, but we'll be getting back with and doing stuff shortly. But I'm doing quite a lot of privates at the minute, just getting like my own gigs in.
I'm doing some afternoons.
Yeah.
Care home. I've got care home tomorrow. Next to Old Grey Mare.
Oh. Excellent.
So I'll drop him off and I'll go and home and have my dinner and a drink and then it'll be done.
But I have to thank you, Dave, as well, because when I came home, you recommended me to Steve Martin. I got a fair few gigs from Steve.
Yeah.
But
it's got plenty of work.
He has, but it was a bit too much for me, the travelling, you know. 65-year-old.
I think he's already does a lot of it, so it's a bit.
4 hours.
We was travelling to get extend, you know, like 3 or 4 times a week, and it takes its toll. It's seriously does.
We've had a nice break, and we've sort of taken that on board. We're not going to go full on.
No.
Back to work like that because it just does you in. We can get a fair amount of private stuff.
Yeah.
Which is tidying us over.
Good.
Plus, Tori does
Yeah.
online bingo calling.
Oh.
For an online bingo place now, so I do a lot of presenting and things like that. So it's good fun.
You don't
it's
do
really
the
good
Irish bingo, do you? 1 and 3, 4.
No, although I said 6 and 9, 96 yesterday. Right.
Wow, that's a good one.
Unlucky for some. House number 12. That's not unlucky. It was for you.
It might be unlucky for you, so it could be unlucky for some.
Tori, now you've joined us, can we talk about Dave's health? Because I've been away and I haven't really had a lot of opportunity of being able to. I did text you and everything, but you were so too busy to get back to me, and I understand now why. And I didn't realise that Dave's been quite poorly twice. Is that correct, Tori?
Yeah, it's in the last 10 years we've been dealing with quite a lot, haven't you, my love? And the first time we died yesterday. He doesn't remember much of it.
No.
So
No.
it's the first time he had a lymph node. He had a cancerous lymph node, which was battled with chemo and a bit of radiotherapy. And before we knew it, was back fine again. But then at the beginning of June last year, he was diagnosed with a stage 4 advanced brain tumour that was unoperable, couldn't operate. The tumour followed from one side right through to the other.
Yeah.
And then he had other bits in his head that was another, like, technically not connected. It was unoperable anyways. They couldn't do anything with that. So we started him on chemo after a quite intense chemo, and he ended up in ICU very poorly, nearly lost him. The chemo wasn't responding to anything on the chemo. So basically they tried radiotherapy as like a bit of relieve the symptoms a bit sort of thing. Went back just before Christmas and we got the brilliant news that it was all clear and in remission.
What?
which was an unbelievable shock. It was an unbelievable shock, wasn't it? But a very welcomed one.
But Tori, I was talking to you last time when we did the podcast. You said something about David got sepsis. Is that correct?
Yeah, that was when he ended up in RCU from the chemo.
Wow.
Because he had such a strong dose of chemo, it literally took him right back. It just stripped him of anything. And then he got sepsis and pneumonia, ended up in RCU on a ventilator, like a full head ventilator.
I took a film of myself singing a song, and I can't remember one second of it.
No, he really wasn't with it, was you?
No.
He was on 95% oxygen, and our consultant said basically if he goes up any further than that, he's not breathing at all on his own then, so we're going to withdraw all treatment and just let nature basically take its course. But luckily, within that night, the antibiotics they put him on had started to do some work and completely cleared him, and within 2 days he was back on the ward.
That's unbelievable.
And yeah, they warned us that he was going to be in RCU for a number of weeks. So it was bad, you know, to basically prepare for the worst. And then within 3 days, he was back on the ward with 20% for oxygen.
Yep.
Then
one of our common sayings was hashtag still warm. Quite a lot of people was like, "Oh, don't say that." I said, "I can say that." That's the sort of thing that's got us through all this. Positive, like positivity.
Yeah, you've got to be positive. I agree there. You must have been on a knife edge, Tori.
If I'm honest, you just go into overdrive. Yeah. You just go into automatic. That you people have said to me, "I don't know how you coped." I'm like, to be fair, you have no choice. Yeah. You just go into automatic overdrive. You just do what you got to do. Make sure the kids are okay. The dog as well. She's another kid. We don't say we've got 4, we've got 5.
Yeah.
And then just go into overdrive and you just automatic. You do what you need to do. I don't remember feeling particularly very sorry for myself or anything like that, or stressing and worrying and things. It was just, this needs to be done and this is what we're doing.
Tori,
until we're not.
I saw that almost the whole of Hull came to your rescue. Well, the Hull entertainers anyway, and I'm sure most of the population in Hull did as well. And there was organising shows and coming around and caring for you.
Yeah, Daz Sims was doing that as well.
Yeah, he was the main organiser for that.
A good friend of ours, and we can't thank him enough. I know it's what he does and he enjoys doing it, but we can't thank that guy enough. Really, we
can't thank the population of Hull, the majority, everybody. We did Dad put together a GoFundMe page because you know yourself, Steve. If you at the time we was just working as entertainers, and it's pretty much you work to earn. You don't get holidays, you don't get illness pay, you don't get anything like that.
You realise you just call him Steve?
Did I?
Yeah. Sean, it says on the screen.
It's Harry.
Is it Harry? Sorry, Harry. My apologies.
Okay, George.
Didn't mean to call you Andrew. Sorry.
Don't worry. Name's a name, isn't it?
Called Matt.
Look.
It's because we were talking about Sean Martin earlier on, probably.
That's probably why. Who's he?
Yeah, so you know yourself. You've got like your work to earn. If you're not earning, if you're not working, you're not earning. You don't get self-employed is the biggest thing. It's a choice, and it is a battle a lot of the time, especially when you're relying on your gigs to pay for things. At the time when we decided to go completely self-employed and just do the gigging, we were both at the best peak we could possibly be. It was like, we're making this decision, and within 6 months, we were in the worst decision ever. Have you got savings? Who has savings nowadays?
Well, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? You've got to be in a really good position to be able to save for rainy days and things.
You live for the day because you don't know when you're going.
No.
Exactly, but everybody just rallied together, and a lot of people have realised because we do that for other people. If somebody needs something, we're the first ones to offer our services up for any sort of charity gigs, or even down to needing a lift somewhere. I'll be the first person to do that, and a lot of people recognise that from us and know that we're not just the type of people to take. We will add back when the time needs it, sort of thing. And it's been brilliant, the response and the love and the care from everyone. People dropping around frozen meals for us that they've cooked. So I had things in the freezer, and people have maybe just come across once or twice, but they was messaging me asking for my address, and they was dropping things off, and it was fabulous. You couldn't write it.
Well,
but my love and admiration for every single one of them that did.
Well, on behalf of you, Tori, and Dave, and myself, I'd like to thank everybody that did come to your help. I hope you watched this and and get the appreciation that you deserve, because when somebody's down, they don't want kicking, they want helping, and that's what they did. They rallied for you.
Very humbling.
It was humbling. That's the right word, isn't it? We didn't realise just how loved David is in the community and how well respected he is, because everyone was just like, "What? No, this can't be happening." And they knew that we needed help, and everybody stepped up for it. And we know ourselves, not everybody in Hull's got a massive amount of money, but what anybody could do, they did, and it was just so humbling. And I can't thank everybody enough.
Good. Well, you've done it. You've thanked everybody, and I hope people watch this and can relate back to the story and feel proud of what they did, because we're proud of you. We're proud of you, and you're still with us, Dave. So that's the most important thing. Yeah. And it says, "Trust me, I'm a drummer."
To annoy people a bit more.
You're a bit.
You didn't annoy me.
You're annoying, are you? Why are you annoying, Dave?
That's what he said.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
He tries to be annoying, but everyone just laughs at him.
Yeah, because that's how he is. Dave, just before we finish, you had a stint with the two pianos as well, didn't you? It came up on my YouTube.
Yeah, I've got another. Al got in touch with me the other day to say that there's two dates in November if I can do them.
Wow.
At Good Fellowship, and it was just Al and Dave and myself doing like unplugged type things. I would take my stripped down drum kit. It's where it all started. 12 years ago, I think it was.
Wow. That's fantastic, Dave. And are you now trying to sort of like raise money for the charities that you was part of?
No, we.
It is in the pipeline. We're going to look at doing something like that.
We're going to do something.
I want to think outside the box. Well, I want to do something.
I want you to think outside the box, Tori, because my showcase now is getting thousands of views. It's developing and growing, and like it should, because I'm doing this off the back of my good heart, because I love people like you. And if I can help you in any way, we can do something on here and promote it, then fine, give me a bell.
What we really need is a holiday, so if we could come off everything.
Do you know what? If I was a millionaire and I was rich, I wouldn't hesitate. Are you allowed to fly, Dave? Is everything okay?
We haven't looked up yet.
Oh,
we got an appointment with the doctor soon, so we're going to bring it up. But from what I've looked on sites and Macmillans and things like that, he hasn't got any sort of relying tumours, so shouldn't be a problem with any ruptures or anything like that, because he's got nothing there to worry about.
Yeah, there's nothing in there at all. up there.
Nothing. I was hoping that when they took a biopsy out, that they might have put some brain cells back in for him.
Oh my God, they did.
Unfortunately,
you only put one back in, so I've got 3 now.
Dear me. If you do ever come to town, it's a pretty long flight. It's 12 hours. And
what's that, a couple of films?
I'll certainly look after you if you come over, you're welcome. But the times to come over to Thailand is October to March. So if you ever,
that sounds nice.
Bear that in mind.
If you're ever feeling flush and you can afford the flights, this is the thing.
I might even get my boobs done.
You could get a boob job done, yeah. There's no reason why, Dave.
There is a reason why. You don't want to...
You could go out as a lady boy.
I don't want to go too big. Though.
No, we've already got enough.
Yeah.
2 for the price of 1. Look, it's been absolutely fantastic talking to you both, and I do apologise. Last time we did do a podcast, and sadly the sound wasn't correct. I tried my hardest to correct it, but it didn't work. So this one's turned out to be just as good and enjoyable. And again, going out to the thank you to the people in Hull. I know this is being watched all over the world, but just take into consideration that Dave's had 2 major illnesses, and he can still be like he is now with his beautiful wife, Tori. So he's an inspiration to most people, and I'd like people to think about that and think, there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and don't hide away. You can come through it like you have. You can.
There is, and there's so many charities that you can reach out for. Yes. There is always somebody there at the end of the phone, and if there isn't, you can always slide into my DMs, and I'll help out in any way we can.
There you go.
With any sort of guidance, and if you need pointing any directions for things.
Yeah.
we're always here for any sort of messages.
Tori, how can people get in touch with you should they want to contact you for bookings or for what?
Just chat.
Yeah, I've got my new hearing aids. I can hear a lot. I'm good. No, I'm on Facebook. I'm under Tori Tullula, TALLULAH.
Right. And do you look?
So if pop us on there, and we'll do what we can.
And anybody who was wanting to book Dave and yourself, just contact you. Is that?
Yeah, just via Facebook Messenger.
What was that?
Bulk.
All right, that's cool.
Yeah.
Do what I've got to put up with?
I do. I understand it. He's got 3 brain cells, so that's enough. So absolutely fantastic, Dave. And when you see Marie, say hello to my secret love, and love to Tori and the family. She was my childhood sweetheart. Was Marie? I'll never forget her. And look after yourselves, both of you. Thank you very much for being on the showcase. Remember?
Thank you very much for having us.
Cheers, my friend.
It's been awesome. You'll always be my friend. Take care of yourself, both of you.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.